Hi everyone, it's Kailei. Thank you for joining me here on my channel. And as you can tell by the title, today I'm going to talk about my disease called Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease. Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease is not a tooth disease, but you would not believe how often I get that actually. Now, this is a neuromuscular disorder, and so it affects my muscles quite a lot. It's an inherited disease. I get it from my dad's side of my family, and I was diagnosed at age 3. My parents already kind of had an idea that I had it because I struggled with mobility as a baby. I had a hard time crawling, hard time walking. I have 2 full brothers and I have half brothers and stepbrothers, and I'm the only one that has it. So I got the psychic abilities from mom and I got the Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease from dad. So Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease being a neuromuscular disorder means that what it's doing is slowly over time, my muscle mass is decreasing and my muscles are slowly deteriorating. And so that can be a very painful process, obviously. And so that's why the biggest symptom of CMT is chronic pain. Some others include fatigue. I'm almost always exhausted. Weakness of muscles. I have a lot of cramps. My feet and my hands are losing a little bit of sensation. So sometimes I feel numb, more so in my feet and legs. Sometimes you can touch my foot and I have no idea that you're touching me. It's very strange. And I'm also less sensitive to pain, and I'm less sensitive to temperature. I'm less sensitive to electric shock and stuff like that. The sensation's gone and getting worse mostly. I'm very weak. I can't really carry more than 20 to 25 pounds. I can't walk more than a mile. And sometimes that changes. There's a lot of variables that go into it, like when the weather's worse, that affects my body quite a lot when it's raining or snowing. And in Pennsylvania, we have terrible winters, and so that puts a lot of strain on my body. And I'm much more prone to falling, and so even more than just the physical symptoms, this causes me a lot of stress and anxiety because I'm constantly thinking to myself, am I gonna fall? Am I gonna hurt myself? Am I gonna be okay? If I go out somewhere, are we going to be walking on gravel? Are we going to be walking on grass? How is that going to affect my experience? Am I going to be okay? Winter in Pennsylvania, am I gonna slide on ice and hurt myself? Because I'm very prone to accidents and I'm very prone to huge injuries. I've suffered many broken bones. I'm sure I'm gonna tell the stories because they're pretty good actually. And I'm okay now. I haven't fallen in a while. I still feel very anxious and stressed when I think about it. Anytime that people ask me to go out with them and it's something like, let's go to a huge amusement park where we have to walk miles and miles, I have to think about and thoroughly plan how I'm going to do that and be okay. How far can I go until I need a break? Anytime I have a major event coming up, like for example, I'm getting married next summer, and all I can think about in my head is, what if I trip and break my ankle or something a week before I get married? Because it could happen. It very, very well could happen. And so it's a lot of stress and anxiety and fear too, on top of and compacting with these physical symptoms. And there's not a cure and there's not really treatment other than I could be on painkillers. I don't want to do that. I could be on muscle relaxers. Don't want to do that. I could go see a physical therapist. Don't really want to do that. So I stretch. I do yoga. I'm always taking care of my body. I'm fully hydrated all the time. Lots of water helps with muscle cramps and stuff like that. I'm eating my fruits and veggies and everything, doing all that I can with my body in that way. But the stress and anxiety and the pain and everything, it still persists and it still continues. And this disease gets worse and worse. And so my symptoms and my dealings with it could potentially get worse and worse. But that's just something that I have to grasp and understand and live with, And being that this is an invisible illness, there's a whole nother layer to it to begin with. And what I mean by that is, when you see me, I look like an able-bodied person. I don't look like there's anything inherently wrong with me. And that's an incorrect assumption because I am disabled. And that brings on a whole new level of fear and judgment, and these people don't know that I'm disabled. Should I tell them? Should I say something? Because I can pass for able-bodied until they ask me to go rock climbing or something. And that brings on a whole new level of judgment. I have a handicap placard. I park in a handicapped spot. And I have had people in the past call me out because they think I'm abusing a system that actually was designed to help me and that I'm legally allowed to use. And so things like that come into play and really make my life very complicated and confusing. But I want to bring all of that to light, and I want to talk about all of it because I know that there are lots of other people out there struggling with disabilities such as mine, where we kind of fall in a spectrum of in between. We're not able-bodied, but we're still kind of able-bodied. And we're not fully disabled. We still have some function, but it's not full function. And so we're kind of in this weird in between where it's very hard to vocalize your feelings and your point of view. And I want to talk about it. I want to bring it out. I want to say everything I need to say, and I want to share my experiences with other people who possibly also have an invisible illness or Charcot-Marie-Tooth or another neuromuscular disorder, and how I'm dealing with it and how I've come to terms with it and how I've lived with it this whole time. There's plenty of stories to tell. There's plenty of more information to share. There's a lot that I want to get into with this topic, and so this is just an introduction to say, hey, hi, I'm Kailei. I'm disabled. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you understand my struggle too, or if you empathize and you want to learn more. And lastly, please subscribe to this channel if you're interested in this type of content. I put new videos out every Wednesday, and I hope to see me in your future soon. Thank you so much. Bye.